a different little vibe, thanks to my husband for creating this little extra background light. But I wanted to talk about, should you get a reward for working? Better yet, should you get a reward for doing your everyday work? So the reason why I brought this up, hold on, pause, because you know I like to check my audio, and I ain't even do that like I usually do. So let me look. Project 2025. Let's see, let's see. As soon as the ad goes by. Thanks for that like, appreciate it. Let's see. Oh, these ads, okay. I'm trying to get to see if you can hear me before I start doing all of this extra. Okay. Okay. Perfect, you can hear me. So, why I mentioned, and let me pin this, why I mentioned getting a reward for doing your job is one thing that has come across, actually not one thing, a lot of things that have come across my comments since, you know, the good caregiver video was out, where it was Crystal doing a good job on her dementia patient that was from Hawaii. There were people, of course, it's going to be haters. Of course, it's going to be cyber bullies. And hey, Zoe. And what I don't get is people were making a comment of, well, she's doing her job. Hold on one second. And the unfortunate thing is, you know, do you think you should get a reward for doing your job? I want you to tell me in the comments. I see y'all writing in here. I'm going to say my hellos. But do you think you should get a reward for doing your job? And while I see some people trickle in, I only got 2 likes on this video. Y'all could do better than that. If y'all been on my live, y'all already know the routine. Give your girl a like. I appreciate it. Those are free. Okay. Red Hawk, I'm not even going to read that comment out loud. Astoria, a story. Hello. Gigi. I'm sorry. Is it Giga or G? I'm thinking Jigga because of the song, but hello. Zoe. Yes, I do. I have 3. Hey, Oscar. Hello. Is it Vivic? Hello. Where I'm from Michigan, of course, the United States. Reason why I say United States is because I have several individuals that are from all over. Okay, Asian, hi there. You have a nice day as well. Basketball Kid 31, that's your shout out. Hopefully you've given me a like on this video. All right. Messy is better than, what do I eat? Food. I am a vegetarian. If I haven't mentioned that on this channel, I am. I was a strict vegan for a few years, and I have not touched meat. It has not been in my system for about maybe 7.5 years. I got to do my math, maybe 8, but it's been a minute, and I don't miss it if anybody asks. Okay. Thank you. I hope you're doing a wonderful day as well. Hello, Dennis. Actually, is it Rory? You are the only one that can talk to your friends about your preference on, you know, what you are. If they're your friends, they're either going to take you as you are, or you need to find some new friends. So hopefully that little bit is helpful, but you have to say your own truth. Okay. All right. AJ, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Let's see. Okay, so let's get to it. So as you saw if you saw the title, it says rewarded for doing your job. My thumbnail, I believe it says, should you get rewarded for doing your work? So I need you to tell me in the comments. I said my hellos, but I need you to chime in with me and tell me, do you think you need a reward for doing your job? If so, tell me why. And if not, tell me why not. And then I'll tell you my take on what I believe, because just about everybody works unless you're retired or maybe you're too young to work. Thanks for that extra like, I saw it. And depending on where you work, I believe every job that you work at should give their employees some recognition. Um, Whether it's given or not, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that recognition on a job is, let me see, Kate, the reward should be internal, money as an incentive, but it should not be the sole reason you work. Good point. All right. Toya Clark, I believe you should be recognized for doing a good job, not always rewarding. Okay, perfect. Rory, like I said, I gave you the advice that I could give you. If you want to come out to your friends and just tell them, go out to eat somewhere or go hang out, do something fun and say, look, I really want to talk to y'all about something. And I'm just laying it out there. If they're your friends and they're truly into you as a person, they may already know what you are. They may already have hints of certain things. And if they don't take you for who you are, they're not your true friends. So start off with just a conversation. Okay. Like Toya said, start small. I would just say have them all together. If you have a group of friends that's friends with one another, then have them all come together. Y'all go out for dinner or something that y'all usually do, and then just tell them. More than likely, some of them already have an idea of what's going on if they're truly your friend and they really know what's going on with you. But don't be afraid to just say it, because if you hold this in, it's going to eat you up if you want to express it to your friends. Okay, the reward is knowing you did the best work. This is how God creates the best way possible. All right, anyone else think that you need to be rewarded for doing work on a daily basis? Okay, Rory, I can't help you. And if you identify as a cat, I believe you have a dog picture. So I don't know if you playing with me or not. Um, because, and I'm not trying to be mean, it's a lot of people on the internet that have interrupted my lives with certain things. And I told you the best that I can tell you to tell your friends about it. But I think that's all I'm gonna give you for right now, because I don't know if I can be of assistance to help you. Okay. Um, like what I see, and I'm not okay. All right. So for me, what I'll say, I believe when you are working on a consistent basis, right, on your job, whether you're healthcare, non-healthcare, that you, unless you're a small business owner, I believe that if you have an employer, you should be rewarded for exceptional work, for for work that is commendable, for you being the dependable person that goes above what you should do. Yes, I believe you should receive an award. When people say, like the video that I put out on Crystal, the good caregiver, that's still kind of trending right now, where she is, I believe she's a nurse, and she works in a maybe a nursing facility in Hawaii, I believe, because I believe the dementia patient is, yeah, they're in Hawaii. So Crystal is a prime example of someone that should be rewarded. Of course, people say, oh, well, she's on camera. Of course, she's going to act like that. But it's a difference when you have a genuine bond with your patients, or if you just doing something for the camera. You can see that Crystal in that video, and that's not the first video I have of her on my channel, she is genuinely caring for her patient. She is there for her patient, regardless of if the camera is there. If the camera was there, she would do what she had to do and get out of the way. But she sits there, takes time, bonds with this patient. And, I believe that she is an example of somebody that should get an award for her work. Nurses, a lot of us, if not all, at one point, we inspired to get a Daisy award. Now, myself, as a nurse, I've been a Daisy nominee at a travel assignment. I've never even heard of a travel nurse getting a Daisy award, let alone a nomination. I didn't even know that I even had this Daisy nomination until I left the contract, took some time off, and came back to this contract. And then they came to me like my second week there and was like, oh, we have a Daisy nomination for you. And they gave me the printout of what the patient said. And it was just so sweet. And I was like, wow, like if I didn't come back, I would have never known, because they wouldn't have mailed it to me. So let me see. What are you saying in the comments? Laura, hey girl. Let me see. The benefit of this, well, we're just discussing if you need to have any type of reward, because a lot of my viewers have said, oh, why are y'all giving this lady kudos? She just doing her job. That's what she's supposed to do. But a lot of people that work like a little bit of recognition. So it could be you doing a good job, you get some type of paper or whatever, because some jobs, when you do a good job and you have your review at the end of the year, all of those recognitions and those kudos and all of that stuff adds up, and you can put it in for a bonus depending on where you are. So yes, that's the point of this. I just want to know, because I'm not sure if the people that's mentioned, hey, you don't need none of this positive stuff because you're doing your job anyway. That's what you're supposed to do. I want to know, what do you guys think? And if you think you don't need to be recognized, tell me why. And also, if you've been recognized or rewarded at work, put it in the comments. I believe for any employee, when you get, like, okay, let's see. It's a big difference when you have your boss say, oh, well, thank you for all of what you do, or thank you so much, right? And then you have, some type of recognition where you have maybe even a printout saying that you've been an exemplary employee, and you get like maybe a little $25 gift card. Even though it's a small amount, it was a thank you for you being awesome. So sometimes the little things make people smile, feel good about themselves. It makes them feel like, oh, you know what? I like being recognized. I'm going to keep on the right path of doing the right thing. And it's some people, they like, whatever, this is just a job. I ain't got to worry about coming up in here and doing all of this, all of that. I'm not paid that much. Because I hear that a lot in the comments. Whatever, CNAs aren't paid that much to do all of that. And to be honest, as much work as you do in healthcare, they could pay more. But are they? Most hospitals, facilities are ran like a business. So they're going to give you what they think they're going to give you. And then if you get a raise, some places it's literally pennies. It's less than $1 a year. In some places, you don't even get an increase. But what I tell people, and I've told coworkers to this day, look, if you want to get more money, you have to go back to school. You have to level up on that area if you're in, let's say, healthcare. Unless you want to do like create a business and do that on the side while you're working. And if your business blow up, then boom, you can go ahead and do that and work for yourself. But when you need to level up in this society where they want to see your credential, or you got to know somebody to get into a higher area, that's when I say, look, do the best that you could do, work, do a fantastic job. So when you, if and when you ever leave that job to go somewhere else and you need a reference or a letter of recommendation, even if you're going to school and they need some type of source of letter of recommendation, you have your employer or a charge nurse or a manager that realizes that you've done a fantastic job. And some of them will say, yeah, write me something up, I'll sign it. Or they'll write you something and you'll submit it, and that'll be, hey, that's my letter of recommendation for me to get into school or for me to go from this job to something else. So doing a good job on your current job, even the previous ones, sometimes it carries with you, because in healthcare, it can be really small. Nursing, as big as that is, it can be really small because, like I mentioned in other videos, I've worked in several different hospitals as a travel nurse, but also being that I'm back to staff, some of the people that I see in my current hospital, I've worked with them, or I know somebody that has worked with them in the same hospital. And I'm telling you, nursing is so small. It don't matter what state you're in. Multiple hospitals, people transfer over, people know people, people go from managers on this place to that place. So you want to do a good job, right? You want to make sure all of your recommendations, your recognitions, your awards, your Daisy nominations, your Daisy awards stays with you. So when you go and get that next job to get more money, because people say, hey, this place ain't paying, I need more money, bring what you've been recognized for to the next place if you're not valued at your current place. So when you go to your interview and they say, oh, well, tell me about yourself. I wish I still had that video on my last channel that got hacked. I literally had an interview, got the job, and I filmed it. I filmed it so you can see how to go through interview questions, all of that. But yeah, so when you're going into an interview and you have these recognitions, these awards, these nominations, and they say, tell me about yourself, guess what you do? You tell them. You say, hey, my name is so-and-so. I've been a nurse, or I've been a CNA, or I've been a medical assistant, or I've been in customer service for 10, 20 years, whatever your experience is. It could be 2 years. It could be 1 year. But what they're looking at is, what can you bring to the table to help their company? So you can say, well, back in May, I was nominated for this. I received recognition for that. I got Employee of the Month 2 months in a row. You know, I have all of my, and you don't have to bring the stuff with you, because some of the jobs, it's still virtual. Like you have a phone interview and then you'll have an in-person. But if you want to toot your own horn a little bit, if you really like that job like that, keep those recognitions that you've received, those papers, those documents, the Daisy pin for nominations. You also get the pin and an actual award when you receive the Daisy Award. Keep all of that because they're going to be like, that shows me what. Matter of fact, before I even keep going, you bring all of that to the table when you're interviewing for a place that's going to give you more money. What does that show the employer? Put it in the chat. What does that show the employer when you have all of these good things about you? What does it show them? I need a few people to tell me in the comments. What is it? What does it show the employer when you're giving all of these good things? Does it show the employer, hey, okay, this is a good person. We need to jump on this because, they've been recognized by all of this good stuff. Does it show the employer, maybe some people will look at it a different way. They may say, well, why are you coming to us? You have all these recognitions. Why are you coming? It could be a bad thing as well, but you have to sell yourself in these interviews. And some interviews nowadays, you have a certain level of experience. They're giving you the job on the spot because they need help. And it's unfortunate, but everybody needs help. I still didn't see any comments in there. What do you think the employer is going to think when you have those rewards, recognitions, nominations? What is it showing them? Let me know in the chat. Okay, let me read some of y'all stuff. What can patients do to help nurses? Okay, patients, if you really enjoy your nurse, if your nurse is helpful, and you want to be of assistance to help, meaning are you talking about helping to get them recognized, or are you talking about helping because their patient load is too heavy? Because if you're talking about helping them to get recognized, there is always something called a Daisy Award, and there is paperwork somewhere in the hospital that will allow the patient to fill it out, and you can say whatever story happened to help you get to wherever you needed to go. I'm a patient, and this nurse was so loving and warm, and I appreciate them. They really helped me during my stay at the hospital. I believe nurse so and so should be recognized. That's a good way to give back to your nurses, because sometimes if you really look, depending on if your nurse wants to go and this strap keep coming down. I'm sorry, y'all. It's bothering me. That's why I keep tugging on it. Depending on if your nurse is going back to school for a higher degree, there are some schools where if you receive a Daisy Award, they will give you a scholarship. Boom. So even helping to do that nomination or to recognize, and they're aware of this little Daisy extra scholarship, that can help them save a couple $1,000s on tuition. Okay. April overshares. My partner and I work third shift every single night from Thanksgiving until after Valentine's Day. Whoa, the administrator called us in to remind us that nobody is going to thank you for doing your job because we have the audacity to ask for nights off. You know what, April, I'm not sure where you work. Third shift is a whole nother beast. I mean, you get a couple dollars more depending on where you are for you to stay up and work when people are sleep. Your body needs to sleep at those times. But some people prefer nights over day shift, which is fine. I used to work nights, so I already know it's a whole nother beast. And that's something that I had to do. Okay, long-term care, I see it. So was that information verbalized or was it documented in an email? If they smart enough, they just verbally said it to you, and they didn't document that in an email where it's any writing. Um, but April, if you have enough experience in that place, or if you have long-term care experience and you think that place is not giving you and your partner any value, you can always go somewhere else. No, they didn't put it in writing. Okay. So how long have you been there, April? And then let me finish reading the rest of it. Do I like garlic bread? Yes, I do. Um, Muhammad, you have the right to love me. Okay. I love my husband. I love my family. I appreciate your comment though, Muhammad. All right. I'm San Angelo, Texas. And if you don't work first or second shift, you get zero recognition for anything unless you mess up. Wow. You know what? That's terrible even to hear that. Let me see. So you've been there 22 years, you quit in January, and I'm looking for a dream job. I was there for 7 years. Okay, nursing or speech therapy. So, I don't know if you asking a question or give me that nursing or speech therapy in the context of a question, because I'm not sure what you're talking about. Okay. Let me see. It said, oh, maybe you're asking about April nursing. Okay. Um, just said I still do my best every shift. So that's terrible that somebody would have the audacity to say you're not getting any recognition, and for you to work every night straight through between yourself and your partner. That's terrible. Like, you can't even have, like, y'all can't even have a eventful rested day together if between the both of y'all working every night shift. And for them to say, oh, well, you're not getting recognized for any of the work that you do, you know that that's a toxic place. Like, why would you even tell me something like that? And some people just say what's on their head, what's on their mind, which is unfortunate, but nobody deserves to be given that speech of, I don't care what you do, you ain't getting recognized. You're not getting an award for this. You gonna work every night that I want you to work, third shift, and you just gonna get a paycheck. No one wants to work a job where they're not recognized just a little bit. When you grow up, you like to hear you doing a good job, a good little pat on your back, right? That small thing is good, but then you can tell when somebody genuinely is just like, oh, y'all doing a great job. Okay, yeah. Don't give me that. Don't give me that at all. But when you have patients coming in and they're like, oh, well, this nurse was exceptional, let me tell her boss, and people will verbally say it to the manager or the doctors, but what we need is that congratulatory remark in a writing form, and documentation, an email, something, because that right there shows that sometimes management won't see everything that you do. If they have multiple people to take care of, they won't even pay attention to you unless something goes wrong. When something is wrong, of course it's to their attention that they have to come and see what's going on with you. But if you're doing a good job, everybody is supposed to do a good job, right? But that's not always the case. It's not the case at all. It's a lot of people that beat the system. They come to work, they do bare minimum. When people need extra stuff done, they don't do it. They pass it off to somebody else. Oh, so and so can do it. I'm okay. I'm busy, or I'm about to go to break. Or if you irritated, or if you're just not feeling that day, it doesn't mean that you should not do your job. And if somebody needs your help, you should be there to assist them. You never know who you're helping. Some of the patients that I have helped have been entertainers, they have been politicians, they have been other doctors, other nurses, lawyers. I have helped quite a few different people. Of course, I'm not going to relay who they are because of HIPAA, but you never know who you're taking care of, because that one person that you do a good job with or you're just cordial with may be the person that really gets something written to whoever, and that ends up becoming a bonus for you. You never know. Some people will come into your job and try to recruit you. You never know if it's a CEO of something, or if it's somebody that had an emergency that's away from their regular hospital and they become your patient and you take a good care of them. Prime example for me, my first nursing job, I worked in the ER and I took care of one of the higher ups, their daughter. Now, people was, oh yeah, so and so's daughter here. You got to make sure that you do all of this and all of that. I'm like, I'm not doing none of that. I'm treating this patient and whoever comes across my rooms that I was assigned to exactly the way I treat everybody else. And with that being said, they wrote in an email. I didn't know. They wrote in an email of the good work that I did. This is new nurse, wet behind the ears, not even a month off of orientation. I did such a good job that they wrote it in to give me my congratulatory remark, right? So it made me feel good because I wasn't gonna take care of anybody else no differently, regardless of if you're higher up or if you're just, someone off the street. Healthcare, patient care should be universal. You should treat everybody with respect. And that's what I did. Okay, let me see. What am I missing? Rashad, yes, nursing. Okay, name a car for an edit. I don't I don't know. Escalade. That's a truck though. Um, you are wonderful. I enjoy your content so very much. It gives me hope. Well, thank you for that, April. I appreciate that. Yes, ma'am. Nobody showed up to relieve us either half the time. Stuck there until what? So what time, April, what time do you usually get off? Do you get off at 7 o'clock? Or is it like 7:30? I know some places when you do 12s or 8s, it's different times. Like some places you have to start off at 6:30 and get off at 7:30. It's just weird, but usually it's a 7A to 7:30 p or a 7P to 7:30 a type deal, so you can give report. Um, but let me know, what's your usual shift that you work? Okay, Dracula, you don't need a job. You're 22. Okay, well, I worked at 22. I worked at 15. So actually 14. I've been working for a long time because I like to be, not saying that this is your case, Dracula, but I like to spend my own money. I want my income to spend my own money. And that was just my way of being responsible for what I got. And that's why I raised my children, the ones that's old enough to work, to get a job, to save, to get the things that you want. If you want something that your paycheck is not going to pay for, save up some money, put money to a side each paycheck, stuff like that. But I mean, everybody doesn't have to work, but I show my girls that they need to. So at least they can see that work ethic, and they can go through the process of how it is to be um, a working person, whether you're a teenager or you're an adult. Because I did it. All right. 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. is what it was supposed to be. And you were there until 8, 9, or 10 o'clock. What's going on? Like, people was not showing up. Did they have any agency people coming in? Because what I've seen, because I have never worked in long-term care, but what I've seen is there are agency nurses that'll come and they'll do a shift and they'll be waiting for relief and nobody comes. So they have to call a DO in or whatever. And usually they're day shift leaving to go to nights. So they would have to stay over a little bit to get somebody to relieve them. But geez, this is, it's terrible how people, don't even show up for work, or the fact that places are so understaffed that people should get agency nurses, travel nurses, which every facility can afford it if they have patients coming in. I don't care what nobody's saying. They just choose not to. Let me see. They refused to call agency. We had to reach the nurse manager and wait for them however long they took. Okay, so hopefully, April, while you waiting all long, you was getting paid for that, because that's overtime. That's outside of your 10 to 6. So if you had to wait until 8, 9, or 10, of course they want you to continue to work. They want you to continue to pass morning meds, stuff like that. And I'm sure you got overtime. Not saying that you wanted that overtime, but I hope you got it, because nobody deserves to be stuck at a job when you're supposed to get off at 6 o'clock, and you may have to go and do, not saying that you have any children, but what if you have to go and get ready to take your kids to school? Or what if you just have to go home and go to sleep? You tired, you work midnights. Midnights is no joke. So, okay, yes, ma'am, but we sure did hear about that overtime. I'm glad I'm out of there. I love OT. I loved to work. And you know what? It's nothing wrong with OT, but everybody doesn't want it. I remember when I did some travel assignments, some people would say, oh, well, do you want to pick up overtime? I'm like, I'm a travel nurse. And back then, this is when I was making minimum 3,000 to 4,000 a week. I don't want no overtime. I'm not used to this money, no way. I put up so much money per week, because like I said about my children, I told them, when you got a paycheck, you need to put some money up into your savings. You never know when an emergency will come up. I put up so much money per week. I don't want no overtime, because when you're staff, I'll say, when you work over, what happens? Your check get taxed more. So much overtime, you think you about to have this fat check, and what happens? Uncle Sam takes that. And it's like, dang, you did all this blood, sweat, and tears just to be only getting a couple $100 when you thinking you getting 1,000 more. No, it's not the case. Mm-mm. Okay, let me see. Your baby is 25. She is, oh, I can't see it past this heart over here. She is a last responder. Or is it last responder? I've heard of first responders. But either way, your baby grown. So I got 2 of mine that's grown, but I got 1 more. So I understand. Oh, funeral director. Okay. Is that what they call last responders? I mean, it makes sense. I just never heard it. Okay. So now that we're talking about recognition, has anybody in the chat that's watching right now, actually, before we even go further, if you're used to seeing my face, you've seen my lives, you've seen my shorts, you've seen any type of long form video, and you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. I just reached 200K, which I was so excited about, because my first channel got hacked. I started this one over at the very end of December. Like, I got hacked on the 30th. I started this one on December 31st. I was so upset, distraught, but I took what I learned from that channel, repurposed this channel, did something different, and my subscribers just kept increasing and increasing. And I'm so thankful, because when my channel was hacked from one of these fake product brand what do you call it, product or brand influencers that want you to do content that you click on something to download, don't do it. I thought that was going to be the end of my YouTube content creator career, okay? Because I really like to talk to my subscribers, my viewers. I like to engage with them because I won't be able to see you. Say I'm in the US and it's somebody in India or it's somebody in Egypt. It's no way that we'll communicate without a YouTube or social media platform. So I appreciate um, you know, being able to keep going. And this channel hasn't even been monetized. Even though I had enough subscribers, I haven't even monetized this channel until like the end of July because, you know, I took the time to really build, and then I'm like, okay, I'll monetize it. So I appreciate everybody that comes, that likes, that engages, that subscribe, that is genuinely here to, you know, engage with me, that relates to me. And sometimes you may not always relate, but I appreciate you guys because I didn't think I would be where I am with this many subscribers. I just kept going. I was not going to give up on myself. I literally just kept going. So I know there's a coworker of mine that wants to start. She knows about this channel, and I'm like, don't tell nobody up in here. Keep this on a hush. And you know, I told her, I said, you need to start because she wants to start. I said, you need to start because I just reached 200K. So for people out here that want to start a YouTube channel or start on social media, the first thing you need to do, the first thing is to start. Your first channels are not, I mean, your first videos are not going to be the greatest. Your 100th video may not be the best, but you need to start because they're going to be people that relate with you, and they're going to want to continue to engage with you. And you never know, you could be helping someone and they might be able to help you. Okay, thank you for the congratulations. All right, let me see. We made shirts that say proud daughter of a first responder, proud mom of a last responder. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Okay, hello, how are you doing? I'm doing well. How about yourself? Okay, so as we are all viewing, I want to know, is there, ooh, I look kind of chunky in this. I'm sorry, y'all. I oh, I look a little extra plump. It's okay. We're human, you know. Weight fluctuates. All right. Hey, you're new here. Hello there. Nice for you to join. What we were talking about was if there was anyone that, do you believe that, what, lonely drifter? So you must have just chimed in, lonely drifter, because this black woman was talking about a lot of things, and it had nothing to do with race. It had nothing to do with whatever you trying to say. But if you just wanted to get a little bit of engagement, that's your engagement. But anyway, anybody else that wants to talk about getting rewarded at your job for working, or do you think that you should get a reward for doing a good job, let me know. Phil is the man. Hello. Lonely drifter, he ain't nothing but a troll. I agree. I agree. Maria, you said start a YouTube channel. Want to share the word. Miss Wealthy, how are you? I haven't seen that name in a minute. How are you? See, I remember I remember channel names because with the last live, Juanita was in there, and I remember I think you and Miss Juanita, we both were in the same live, but we were going back and forth, and it was awesome. So, how are you, Miss Wealthy? Good, good. Okay, so but yes, I need more people to chime in. I know I said my part of when you are doing your work, should you be recognized for doing a good job? I believe so. I believe you should be awarded, and like a lot of people in one particular video was like, "Oh, you just doing your job. So why are you giving all these kudos to somebody that's doing a job?" Because everybody that works does not do a good job. Not saying that they don't have the capability of doing it. Some of them don't care. Some of them will do bare minimum just to get that check and get out the door. That should not always be the case, but it is, whether it's in healthcare, retail, wherever you, hospitality, whatever you can think of. And it's unfortunate. So the people that do the good job should get rewarded, should get recognition. You know how some companies may give you a Christmas bonus. I think before I traveled, we got, what did we get? We got something. It was like a maybe a gift card for something, but it was like insignificant. It was like maybe a gift card for a grocery store or a gas card for like $10, $15. And maybe they did that because, it was a lot of employees in that hospital, but that was considered the Christmas bonus. If you guys have ever received a bonus at your job, tell me what it was. Now, when I was a phlebotomist, I'll tell you this. When I was a phlebotomist, I worked at a doctor's office, a cardiology office, and for Christmas they would take us out to eat. Um we would go to an Italian restaurant. They would rent out the room in the back. They would have an open bar. You get whatever food that you wanted, and the doctors would write a check. Each employee, was it 50 or 100? This was over 12 years ago. I believe it was either 50 or $100. Each employee received that. That was more than what I got from my actual job for Christmas. But I guess if they made a certain amount, they wanted to give back to their staff. And I was okay with it because back then, as a phlebotomist with two small children, not making the most money, that money went right in the bank to help put gas in my tank, buy some food, or pay a bill, one or the other. Okay, let me see what's in the comments. Let me scroll up and see. I absolutely go out of my way to show my peers how much maybe you appreciate them every single shift. Okay, he knew what he was saying when he said it and had to stop your life just to block him. Yeah, absolutely. Black, is it Black G 14 and a half? Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Um, Let me see. I agree. You deserve awards for doing a good job. You do. You do. Just having you do a good job may be not enough because you're supposed to do a good job, right? So even if you go above and beyond, sometimes that above and beyond is not even recognized until you bring it to someone's attention like, "Hey, remember that one time where I did this and I stayed over for that?" And, make sure sometimes it's okay that you do this. If you did something that was outside of what you needed to do, you can go to that provider and say, "Well, remember the one time when I did X, Y, and Z?" Make sure you give that exemplary work to my boss in an email on how you appreciate what I've done. And hopefully, what you've done wasn't out of your scope, so you're not getting in trouble. But just that, they're expecting you to do certain things, they're expecting you to do the right things. But when you do a little bit above, bring it to their attention. Hey, I saved your butt on this. Make sure you write me a kudos or write this out and send it to my boss. You know, um, if you feel that you did a lot and they appreciated you, and then they're like, oh my God, thank you so much for doing this. Yeah, what you can do is you can write this in a quick little email of how good I did and send it to my boss. Because when it's time for us to do that annual why I can't even get it out, for you to get your yearly eval, you can pull that up. Hey, on this date I did this for this. So I don't know if everybody's job that is viewing gives them um bonuses or raises based on what they do throughout the week, not the week, throughout the year. But if they do, you need to be writing down these things that you're getting these good things from, and making sure performance evaluation, absolutely, you should be having stuff written down for your performance evaluation, so that when it's time, you can relay that to your manager and say, yeah, I did this all within this short time frame, or I did this and it really helped to run things smoothly, or I did this. And not saying, hey, you need to give me a raise because I did all of this. No, just show them how you're a valued employee, and when it's time for you to get your raise, you get it. All right, let me see. Trish, you deserve awards for doing a good job. Absolutely. See. I just wanted to say I love how positive and uplifting you are. You deserve empowerment as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I try to be positive as much as I can. Sometimes at work. Sometimes at work. It is not always that positive. And what I do when there's so much negativity, I just distance myself from, this particular person, because they're a negative Nancy, and I do my part, I do my work, and then I distance myself. If I have to be around them, the conversation is minimal. I don't want to do small talk with you because you're going to wrench in the negativity in the conversation, and that's not what I want. That's not what I need. That's not what I want. That's not going to help my day go by any smoother with the negativity. So positivity is key. I was not always like this. As you get older, you just don't want to take any type of negativity anymore. You don't want the stress. You don't want to be drained. So you keep positivity around you, and hopefully it exudes out to the people that you're around. Not everybody will grab hold of it, but the ones that are negative, you keep your distance. But again, I appreciate that. Okay, Maria, you're a caregiver. Okay. If you have to ask, you probably shouldn't say it. Right, but they right, but they don't. A lot of people know how to have enthusiasm with their job. Oh, a lot of people don't know how to have enthusiasm with their job. Wow. Yeah. Thank you. Let me see. I'm from Mexico. It's interesting to know about you and your work. Big hug from afar. Joe, I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for, I keep saying 8, 9 years. Let's just round it up. I've been a nurse for 9 years. And I've done travel nursing, worked as a staff nurse, as well as I'll be going back to school sometime next year to get my master's because I need to level up. I'm not comfortable where I am right now as a nurse on the current role that I'm doing. So, in order for me to level up, my employer pays for it. So, when I'm there for a year, I'm going to let them pay for my master's and level up through the hospital. That's a little bit about myself. If you want to throw in any type of comments while I'm talking or reading other comments of the awards you've received at work, put it in the comments. I really like when people are recognized. I've done it, even if it was something small, because I've done it when I was a manager. I've recognized my dialysis staff because everybody is short now and even back then, because I had I had to literally give like thank you cards and like candy. Like I bought like regular size candy bars or Skittles, Snickers, Reese's, whatever. And I had them to pick. I'm like, well, thank you so much, because this is what I did. Maybe it was a little bit catty, but I did it for a reason, because it was just about every day there was someone that called off. And I'm like, why are y'all calling off? I'm sorry, I'm picking with these twists. I just did them and they extra short. um, why are y'all calling off every day? What's going on? So I said, well, I talked to my manager and I said, is it okay for me to give, a thank you card and some type of candy for those that come to work that have 30 days? I've reached out and said, oh, well, thank you for coming to work and not calling in within these 30 days. It was that bad. So the people that showed up to work, I wanted to give them something. I said, well, here, pick whichever, piece of candy you like. I want to thank you for that. And what I did that was a little catty was I would turn around to the people that called off once a week and I would say, hopefully it'll be your turn. Was it bad? Maybe. But even though people can go to the store and get their own candy bar, or you can go to the Dollar Tree and get a thank you card, or you could, you don't even need a card. I did that small thank you to recognize them for showing up to work. All of them that showed up did a good job anyway. So it was thank you for your hard work and efforts. And a reward goes a long way. It does. It really does. So that's what I did for my staff when I was managing a dialysis clinic. All right, let me get back to the comments. That was nice. Give back, please. Right, I believe it's motivation to do work that provides a great quality level. Yes. Yes, Miss Wealthy. Everyone else gets recognized. Everybody else gets recognized. So Maria, you haven't been recognized yet? How long have you say you're a caregiver, how long have you been doing it, and how long have you been at your facility? Um, XXXXOOOO. I don't know what you're meaning by please say I am too. I don't know. I think that's the first time that you're writing on this feed, so I'm not 100% what that goes to. Okay, April. I reward people with homemade cinnamon rolls. Baking relaxes me, and I love to feed people. It's my love language. Awesome. You know what? It's a lot of people that has a love language of baking. My husband is one. Like when we got married, of course I cooked before I knew him. Of course I cooked before, we dated or got married. I cooked. I had children outside of our marriage before him. So we had to eat. But when he came in and we got married, he took my baking card away. Like that man loves to bake and he does a good job. He was raised in a house of, people that cooks. And even his brother is a chef in Japan. Like he moved to Japan. That family definitely cooks. So sometimes I'm in the kitchen like, wait, let me, I want to teach me this, or I want to know what you're doing. And sometimes he's like, okay, well, do this and do that. And it's really cute when him and my youngest daughter, they bake together. I think that is so sweet. But yes, I definitely understand when you say that baking is your love language to feed people, because I literally had to get on a diet a few times because that man loves to, like, let's go here, let's cook this. I got it. And I'm like, okay. As I'm getting older, the scale is increasing and I'm trying to be healthy. But sometimes the unhealthy stuff is good. All right. Lonely Drifter, I don't know what you're talking about. And what happened to Phil as the man? His messages all been retracted. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Um but yeah, Maria, tell me, how long have you been at your facility? You said you everybody else gets recognized, but you haven't. Something needs to change. Is it are they not valuing you as an employee? Are you new? Um Tell me a little bit more about that. So, what I will say is, if you want to talk about other things besides the rewards while we're on here, it's okay. Let me see. Phil was asking to say something weird. Oh, nope. That's about the weirdest you gonna hear from me, right there. Say something weird. And April, unfortunately, I hear that a lot. With when I do my lives, people come in here, but I think Phil as the man has come in before. I just don't remember. I don't think he was like somebody that trolls. I don't think. Okay. But if you want to talk about anything else, please let me know. And let me see, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to create a poll in the chat. Oh, okay. So that's what that was. I told him if you have to ask, then you probably shouldn't say it. No, that was fine. It was fine. People communicate all the time in the wait a minute now. Johnson, um what we not going to do is discredit somebody's feet that you've never seen, that you've never smelled, and you just want a little bit of attention. So that's the attention that you got. Thanks for your comment, because hopefully it's boosting my video into the algorithm by you giving this video, by you giving this statement of somebody feet stink. Not I. But no, I'm going to do a poll in the chat. I've never done this, but I want to know if you've been recognized at work. If you've been at your job for, let's say, a year. If you do your part, you do good work. I want to know, have you been recognized? Have your boss, pulled you over to the side and said, you know what, you've been doing a really good job. I appreciate you for everything that you do. Have you ever been reached out to for um maybe another role? Thank you, Phil. Another role. This happened to me when I right before, within maybe a year or so before I started traveling. My boss came to me and said, well, you know what, there's an opening in this role, and I really would like to know if you would consider transferring over to this, because it would benefit you and blah blah blah. So I've had that done before. Let me see. Have you April with the comeback? She said, Johnson, have how did you get smell-o-vision? Are you from the future? Okay, now, April, I like that. I like that clap back. Okay, let me put it in here. And anybody else that want to put some comments in the chat, feel free to do so. Hopefully everybody that's looking have already subscribed to the channel. They've already liked the video. And I appreciate you guys for doing so. Now I'm just gonna put it. Hopefully, let me know if you see this. I'm still typing, but I want to see because I've never really seen polls during lives. Maybe I haven't looked at a lot of lives, just only mine. Um, but I'm gonna put this in here. So what I'm saying on here is, you welcome. What I'm saying on here is, have you received an award, or I'm sorry, have you received a reward at your job after being there for 1 year? Um, what I will say is, okay, I submitted it. Hopefully you can see it. Okay, I can see it in my comments. So let me know. We doing a poll. Have you ever received, hello, have you ever received an award at your job after a year? And the reason why I say a year is, 67% said no. Um, how can I get to, okay, let me see, three votes. Okay, so I'm gonna keep that open so I can see it. My day is good. Thank you so much. Um, reason why I say, have you received an award at your job after being, oh, I didn't say there. I don't even know if I can edit it. Let me see. No, I think it's only gonna allow me to end it. No, so y'all get it. After being at your job for a year. Reason why I say a year is because, one, you're learning your job. So you should be able to get done with orientation maybe six weeks, depending on where it is. If it's healthcare, if it's a more critical area, it might be 12 weeks. If you catch on quick, it'll be 6 to 8 weeks, 2 months. Um, but if you're already a seasoned nurse in that area, it may be a quick little 4 weeks, depending on if you catch on. I've done it where when I went back to the ER, I literally had 4 weeks of orientation, and it wasn't even full-time hours. It was part-time because I already knew that place. I've worked there before. What do I do for work? I'm a nurse. So if you're new to your role, and after about 3 months, you kind of get the feel of what you need to do. Of course, if you're there for the right reasons, you want to take care of, whether it's your patients, your customers, you want to do a good job at what you do. So I would say maybe at 6 months, you should be able to do everything that you need to do. You should be doing a little bit extra if you want. So you should be able to do a little bit more of the usual. And if you do extra, that's because you're already comfortable at what you're doing. Now, so far out of these votes, 75% says no, they're not getting a reward at their job. Now, out of the people that has voted, do you think you should be recognized for your good deeds, even if they not even giving you a reward? Do you prefer recognition? Yes, Barry, I like cabbage. Do you prefer recognition over an award, or you want, just put it in the comments. Would you rather have a reward, meaning a gift card for something and a thank you card, recognition, like maybe a verbal, I appreciate you for what you're doing, um, or like something small, but like a verbal recognition of, oh, you're doing a good job? Let me know, which one do you prefer, recognition or a reward? Now, the places that usually give the recognition, you don't see a lot of people get it. Like if it's on the higher area of being recognized, sometimes you may get just a verbal, oh, you're doing a good job, right? But if you hear that every time they see you, and you hear the same thing to everybody there, it no longer gives you that much value. Um, a reward is better, I think, as you've earned something. Okay. Anybody else want to put in? Oh, why did my chat? Okay, hold on. When I got this poll here, my chat is no longer on here loading. So let me refresh my MacBook. Okay, it's always nice to be recognized, but I don't need it. I smile and I know good eye contact from across the desk is even better for me. Understandable. I know for me, I have been given verbal recognition, and the you can tell the recognition that is, the genuine, they appreciate you for what you're doing, because I had that done, was it earlier this month or maybe the end of last month? I've had that done from one of the nurse practitioners, and he really poured into me on what I do and how much of a change has happened since I've been there. I didn't get that from management. I got that from one of the nurse practitioners that worked with me. So they were there because they've seen it. They've seen the chaos before I got there. It's still a little chaotic, but that right there did volumes for me. Now, when my boss comes by and they're like, "Oh, you're doing a good job. Keep up the good work," and it's forced and it's like, "Oh," that you keep it, because it doesn't feel genuine. Now, granted, they don't have to say anything, but but you know, the true appreciation, some people feel that you have to do more than just a verbal. It may, simple as um a card, a gift card, a pizza party. What nurses, a lot of nurses hate is when a lot of nurses hate when there is something supposed to be special for the nurses, they always get pizza. Now, when I was a vegan, I didn't eat the pizza. So I'm like, well, where's the salad? And make sure it ain't no cheese in it, because what's the ingredients in the salad dressing? Is it dairy in it? I can't eat none of this. So this doesn't help me at all. But what some people do is they may order Mediterranean food, they may have falafels, they may have extra things that help to the non-meat eating or the non-dairy eating people. Now I do eat a little bit of dairy, not a lot, but I do. So, you know, truly being recognized is one thing. And no, don't feel bad for me. I eat pizza. I said when I didn't, I'm a vegetarian. I'm no longer a vegan. So I eat pizza. I just don't eat a lot of it. Here and there. I'm not just going to eat pizza every day because it's fattening. Um, but yeah, don't feel bad. I still eat it. Matter of fact, my husband ordered pizza thin crust last night. So we had our little veggie pizza with cheese. We don't eat it that often. So yeah, that recognition does volumes. It encourages you, it motivates you. And if it doesn't motivate you, let me know in the comments. Let me know if it's just me. If it's just me. I mean, a little bit of thoughtfulness to your employees that are doing a good job goes a long way. I don't have a favorite pizza to answer that. Anyone else want to talk about anything? If it's anybody here that's in nursing that want to talk about school, if they want to talk about, if they're a student nurse or they want to become a student nurse and they want to know what steps they need to do, if it's someone that is, I'm sorry y'all, this bothers me because it keeps getting out of being tucked in. If it's someone that want to talk about where to start if they want to be a nurse, or if they want to, just get into healthcare, I could tell you about that as well. Let me see. Me, I work the night shift in nurses, maybe nursing. Okay. Um, Night shift ain't no joke. Like I said to I believe April. I think April you were working midnights, correct? Yeah, night shift ain't no joke. Um, I no. So just looking at the votes, I put this up 9 minutes ago. 76% of people don't get a reward. Yep, yes. 76% do not get a reward after being at their job for a year. Now, when you say no, out of those people, if you're still in the live, and when you say you're not receiving a reward, is it you're not getting a raise? Are you not being recognized for your good work? Are you not given any congratulatory remarks from management? Let me know. Not for the faint of heart or those who are on the lazy side. You know what? A lot of people think that night shift is easier. April. A lot of people think that night shift is easier because, and actually, myself, when I was a new nurse, I didn't mind nights because management wasn't there. And when the manager was there, it was like the charge nurse. So it wasn't a lot of people all in your business. Night shift crew was like chill, extra chill. Back then, we had enough staff. We knocked some stuff. We had way more teamwork. We knocked stuff out. We got it done so that we could relax. Okay. And then sometimes at nights, it kind of, the patient's volume fizzled down to like minimal. And we was in there just chilling, enjoying the peace. And then we knew when it was day shift because everybody cutting the lights on and, and it was like, oh, good morning. And we're like, good night. We ready to go to sleep. But it was chill for me when I worked nights. Now I'm on day shift, of course. I probably won't go back to nights because if you look at my profile picture, that little girl in the picture is no way that I would be able to function and do stuff with her if I got back on nights. Um, that's just me. And my husband and I made an agreement that if he got off nights, which he did when I became a nurse, after I did my little few years of being on nights, when I got off of nights, we were not going back. And we haven't. Now I ain't gonna lie, I thought about going to nights to do like a travel assignment, but he was like, we said we weren't gonna do nights, right? Uh-uh. Okay. Today, newbie got a Building Star Award for the same work I did while I was a newbie and didn't receive it. Wow. So, okay, tell me what this, I'm sorry, budding? I said building. Budding star. So what is that? What type of award is that? Why would you get it? Is that because you're doing a good job? Tell me. Tell me a little bit about what this budding star award is. Is it because you're new, you're a budding star? Um Tell me about it. And y'all didn't really say anything of out of the people that said no. Okay, 75% now. I got another vote. 75% now said that they didn't get a reward after being there for a year. Why is that? Was it, I'm sorry, every time I drink out of this, the water goes here. um, was it you didn't get a raise? Was it you never got any type of recognition? Your job doesn't give bonuses, so that's not the case. Was it you just didn't feel valued? All right, April. Take care. Hopefully you're subscribed. I appreciate you interacting with me. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you on the next live, which will probably be in 2 weeks. All right. Anybody else want to tell me? More votes. Still no's. Tell me why. I want y'all to tell me why. It's no wrong answer. Because I've worked a job. It's 79% saying no. I've worked a job. I'm sorry, 80% now. 80% now is saying no. I've worked a job where no, I don't. I don't. I worked a job where um during the time that I worked there was a freeze, a pay freeze, if I'm saying it correctly, where I worked when it was time for my annual, we didn't get raises because they were on a pay freeze. No, I don't. I like my husband. Voices in my head to clarify. Yep, 8 years married, 15 years happy. Okay. I'm sorry, 13 years. So I just want to know. Now it's 81%. Okay. See you later. I just want to know, is that the case? Like they didn't do a hiring. Hey Tyler, thank you for the congratulatory remark. But hopefully you voted on this. If have you received a reward from your job after being there for a year? Whether it's a raise, whether it's congratulatory remarks, a recognition, and 82% is increasing. I'm getting more. I'm getting more comments. I'm getting more votes. 82% says no. I just want to know why. What's missing? Is it because it's not an option for you? Is it because your job doesn't reward like that? You get your increases maybe, but no, that you don't get nothing. Okay. She was rewarded for not getting any negative feedback. I too hadn't received any negative feedback from clients. It's just really unjust. You know what? That's terrible. Yeah, why didn't you? If you didn't get it, or maybe you were one that maybe it slipped through the cracks of, they didn't even recognize you for that. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if this person knows somebody. Sometimes the people that know somebody, they want to make sure that the person that they know kind of looks better than others. So they'll look at little things. Oh, well, yeah, so-and-so has did this and never gotten any negative feedback. And let's give you this award. And in some cases, like I'll use the example of my husband. He's received good reviews from his employers when he worked in healthcare, when he worked in retail. But what happens is sometimes when you get that good feedback, they add more work to you. If I'm lying, put it in the chat. When you get good feedback, or when you get good reviews from providers, or you doing a good job, is it am I saying this incorrectly? Your employer gives you more work. They've given my husband more work for him doing a good job. And it's like, you gonna burn people out. You really are. You gonna burn people out. But if I'm lying, put it in the comments. If I'm telling the truth, put it in the comments. I want to know if you feel the same way. Now, my current role, I have more stuff put on me to do, but it's no big deal because I'm used to doing it. So yes, I've been given more things to do by my providers, and it's not overwhelming to me. It probably would be overwhelming to the person that I share an office with, but it's not out of my scope. I can do this, and it may be something that I can write down to when I get my annual review. I can say, hey, Starting on this date, I have helped my providers to decrease the amount of cancellations or whatever, because I'm not bedside, so I don't we I'm not bedside anymore, so I may call to confirm some things, and that little bit helps them, so I can put that in writing and say, effective this date, you got to know how to write stuff. You got to know how to put that stuff out there to make you look better. And you're doing your part, you're doing your job. So everybody doesn't think about it like that. But when you work in some jobs where they're giving you um, bonuses for what you do, oh, you got to get creative. You definitely got to get creative. 100%. Okay, it says Cleveland Clinic gives nothing. You know what? I almost did a travel assignment, Steelers Nation, at Cleveland Clinic, and then I end up going to another hospital, but their nurses wear white. Is that correct? That their nurses still wear white, like all white? Because I was like, wow, they went really old school. Like I haven't worn all white since nursing school, clinicals. All right, let me see. So the percentage of, I got more votes. The percentage of people not receiving a reward after 1 year at their employer is now at 85%. Only 15% um, of the people said yes. That is unfortunate. That's terrible to hear. Usually within, I'm not going to say all of my jobs, I've received some type of award within a year because every job is different. Some jobs I might have, let me see, when I was a new nurse, I mean, I told you guys about the email that I got from one of the higher ups on the good job that I did for taking care of that person's daughter. Um, I mean, and I was new. Let me see further down. I've received some things. Yes. I don't know if it was within Maria. Do we get a 5% raise? I'm not sure. That would be nice. But you know what? When I was a phlebotomist, they used to always give us 2%. And when you calculate that 2%, it was like pennies. It was like, why 2%? Can we get like an extra dollar? Even though stuff gonna get taxed anyway? Did that sound selfish? Maybe it did, but that's the way how I felt. I think the max I've made as a phlebotomist, and I was a senior lab assistant, I made about $18 an hour. That was before nursing, and it was like I need more. I couldn't raise my children on that, and that was back then. That was back in 2000, early 2000s. So of course, cost of living and everything now, you can't even get an apartment with, you know, one individual making, you know, $18 an hour unless they do overtime, which is sad because even now I'm looking at like apartments for my daughter when she gets out of college. She wants to be on her own, or my two oldest, they can be roommates, and just the rate of apartments is ridiculous. Like it used to be some cheap apartments back in the day, $400, $500, $600 apartments. They're not in the best area, but even the ones that used to be that are like 1,000 plus, unless you find a studio, and then that's like $900. So terrible. It looks like I'm blurry. Let me make sure. 1,000 in the hood. See? So I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, cost of living is starting to increase all over, and the rate of pay is not really catching up. This is why I saved money for my children when they were When I did those travel assignments, I put money up. I put money up because when they're out on their own, when they are done with college for, after they done with the winter and fall semester, and they are out of college and they want to have their own space, I will have money for them because they're not going to have no credit. I mean, of course, I got them on some credit cards that help to build their credit, but their income is not going to be enough for these places without a cosigner. So I know I'm going to be there, but at least they'll have the money up front to knock out some months so that when they're working their jobs, they can continue to add on to that. Nobody sets you up for that like someone that has struggled in the past. I don't want my kids to struggle when it comes to a home. So that's my duty that I put on myself to make sure that they had a stable place when they got out of college. That's just me. That's just the good mama that I am. Everybody is not like me. Everybody doesn't think like that, and everybody doesn't have the extra money to do so. All right, out of 39 votes, 87% says no. Let me see, did anybody else, okay, you're in Texas, did anybody else say why? Oh, you from India. Okay, nice. No, I guess nobody else want to put why they think, because you'll never know why you didn't get the increase, but why do you think you didn't get the increase? Why do you think you didn't get the reward? Tell me, why do you think you didn't get that? Because I mean, if you knew, then you probably would actually get the reward, but not all of my jobs I received one. No. But if anybody else want to talk about something else in the chat, feel free to do so. Me too. I'm not a nurse, but I was a supervisor. So, supervisor to supervisor, because I'm not anymore, but me too. What did your what did your employees have to do in order to get some type of acknowledgement, some type of reward? Were you a part of giving them some type of recognition or a reward for your good employees? Let me know, me too. It's no, right or wrong answer. I just want to engage and see, because when I was a supervisor, that was back when, maybe that had to be about a good 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. So, I mean, small things was helpful for my staff, but of course the big things was the best. Okay, simply stated that you are what? What? My boss told me it didn't work like that off of yearly time there. I guess she stayed back and worked. Reading the wrong things is why people don't get the reward. Okay, so let me see. 45 votes now. 46 vote? Nope, 45 votes. 46 now. 85% saying no. Okay, Maria, managers don't spend enough time with floor nurses to notice things that they may deserve an award. I agree. There are some, depending on your department, there are some nurse managers that pop in, yes, but they don't stay. There are some nurse managers that are right there on your unit. So if something happens, usually they get wrapped into it because they're on that unit if it's inpatient. If it's outpatient and they have multiple areas to take care of, then no, they won't. But let me get comfortable. But when they have multiple areas to cover, they won't see it. That's why I said earlier about when you doing a good job and your doctor is really excited or happy about what you've done, have them to put that in the email and send it to your boss and say, look, so and so did a great job on X, Y, and Z and helped me to do X, Y, and Z, blah, 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 so that they can see what you're doing, because they can't always see everything that you do. You don't want them there breathing down your neck. But the good stuff needs to be showcased so that they can know that they have a good employee. Okay. Look, I done got comfortable. I'm crisscross applesauce. Got my computer up here. All right. Not talking politics at all. Sorry. So I'm just gonna mute that. Um, Let me see. They really overlook. Oh, wait, let me go up. I missed something. Read success, preach success, and practice success. Okay, yes. No, I'm not single. When I talk with my hand. Even though my nail's not done, that ring is there. So, no, not single at all. And it may look backwards, but this is my left hand. I've had this ring on my left hand for a long time. But anyway, okay. So they really overlook really overlook you. They overlooked the ones that work really hard. Yes, I was a supervisor, and then when the corona hit, my boss took my job and gave it to her son and his friend. Girl, wait a minute. Me too. I'm sorry. Let me look at the picture. Okay, that's a female. Uh, ma'am, how dare they do that? Like, it was it any type of writing of how did that even happen? You know, it's so much slick stuff that happens. And how did that even happen? Were you sick and you were off of work for some time and they just replaced you? Or were you actually there and this person just was like, oh, well, you no longer are here, you fired, or you're demoted, and we're going to just have my son to take over? Why? That's messy. Okay. Let me see. From a Harvard student just had the balls to do it. I would say, oh, we are talking about the politics that I kind of took off, because the last couple of lives, it's been people asking about this, and I'm not going to talk about politics on my channel, to be honest. I'm going to keep my views to myself. When the president comes, you know, whether it's whoever, it is what it is. I'm going to do my part and vote. I told my two oldest children to make sure that they vote, and vote for who you want to vote for. That's all I'm going to say about it. Okay. Now we can rap success. Okay. Yes, good stuff needs to be showcased. You know, you see that big yes. But no, because somebody asked about if I was single, and sometimes being that people haven't seen my lives, you may not see it in my YouTube shorts that I do, but when I talk on my hands, so you may not see it when I have a green screen. You may not see my hands like that. Or if I'm talking, I may do something like this, but you know, stuff is backwards. So unless I have my phone flipped the other way, you'll be able to see. Like right now, it may look like this hand is not my left hand. This is my left. It's showing my right on the computer because the camera is flipped. So either way, yeah. All right. Lacey, Ava, and Chase. I am an aide. My boss walked in on me doing extra things like cleaning and filing an elder person's nails because they were all broke and dirty and never said anything. I've realized it don't matter. You know what the unfortunate thing is? You did a little bit of, and somebody said already when I had the self-care video, it's not self-care if you're not doing it. Some people don't have the ability to do self-care in facilities. So by you helping to assist with self-care, they may think it's a part of the job. But it's really you doing the extra to make your patient feel loved, manicured, and neat. And by them seeing that you're doing extra, they're like, oh, okay, well, that's so sweet. But the recognition may not happen for that, which is unfortunate because like a lot of people that are in healthcare, they may say, oh, I don't have time to, do my patient's hair or do their nails or do or sit down and feed them. I don't have time because I have other people. But that little bit helps them. And it may not be they see you doing it one time. It might be, oh, well, you're the go-to. If you're the go-to when it comes to getting help for a patient, absolutely. That is something that you need to be recognized for. And depending on where you are, you may or may not get it. 82% after 55 votes have said they don't get recognized after a year at their job. Hopefully, everyone that has voted in this little poll, in this live stream, is doing good work. I'm not going to say everybody that voted is doing a good job. I mean, 18% says yes, they've gotten recognized. But it's a lot of good people out here that is not getting any recognition for what they do because it's not seen. So sometimes the extra things that are done that were seen needs to be kind of like, hey, tell this to my boss because blah, blah, blah. And sometimes you could give a verbal and they may forget to say it to your boss. But every place have some type of something, whether it's a daisy or what did they say? What was it? Let me go back up. Was it the budding star or it's something else out here for like everyone, not just nurses, where you could have patients to write this in to recognize you. I remember when I was on the committee of like discharge call back to see if the patient got everything, was discharged, things explained in a timely manner, did they see the doctor in a timely manner, stuff like that. And it was people that wanted to recognize their nurses, and it was put on the feedback. And I wrote the name, and they're like, oh, nurse so and so was amazing, doctor so and so was amazing. Sometimes patients, when they get these calls, if the facility even provides that, those little kudos from the patients helps as well. And then usually when that happens, oh yeah, a patient came in, or oh, a patient sent in a card and wanted to give you kudos for your good work, save those things. So like I said, for your annual review, hopefully your good deeds do not go to waste. All right, so let's see. I'm missing some stuff in here, I'm sure. Um, nope, no writing, no nothing. So that's terrible, me too. Like for you to just be up out of your supervisor role during a pandemic because somebody wanted to put their son there. Terrible. Okay. Let me go back down. What the bosses say, as long as I make the patient happy, that's all that matters to me. I mean, well, okay, patient care is a good thing. That is your job that you're doing. Um some people may think just by you doing good deeds of um you know manicuring some nails, doing hair, that it's a part of your role. And for them to say, you taking care of the patient should just be good enough. It is good enough, right? But you just want a little bit of recognition. Thank you for doing that. Or what if a patient family member comes in, and because it may not even be your boss that gives you that recognition. A patient family member comes in. Oh, my loved one's nails are so much better. Who did this? Oh, well, this person over here did that. You know what? And if you come in at the right time, not saying that you got to hover around the room, you come in at the right time and they're happy with what you're doing for their loved one, have them send like a quick little, write this to, give the email, write this to my boss. Or if your place has a form for them to fill out to give you a congratulatory reward or remark, have them fill that out for you. It takes, the worst thing they could say is, no, I'm not going to do it. Okay. And you just keep on. And I mean, if they get upset, oh, well, this person asked me to fill out a form for them doing a good job because I was so happy about them doing this for my loved one, but I didn't want to fill out a form. It's okay. Everybody's not going to want to do it, but at least you tried. Okay. They called me in a room and just said they wanted me to go back to doing rooms and the other girl back to rooms too. So you still there, but you're no longer a supervisor. They just said they demoted you and said they wanted you to go back to doing rooms. Okay. Um, did you get did he give you notice before firing you? So I was a little upset about it, but I told her that you can change my job, but you cannot change my pay. I know that's right. Look, what you not gonna do is, because I didn't give you a reason for you to change my role, so you're not gonna drop my pay. And sometimes that happens, even in healthcare. When someone is demoted, sometimes they still keep their pay, especially like if they're higher up, like management and stuff like that. They still had the same pay. Okay, so you was okay. Wait, I'm reading down too far. No, ma'am, I did nothing wrong. I was going to work. If I'm off and they called me, I would go in. I would do I would help do other people's jobs. I was never fired, just changed my position. But one thing, if they think you don't know, they will pay you like that. I let her know she can't change my pay. Um, okay, Jamie, but that wasn't healthcare. It was sales numbers. I didn't get nothing in healthcare. Okay. Yes. Okay. So let me see. 70 votes, 76%. And this poll is not for healthcare. It's for whoever is watching, whether it's healthcare, whether it's customer service, whether it's sales, whether it's real estate. It don't matter. Okay. I just want to know, as a person, are you getting a reward after being at your job for 1 year if you're doing good work? Of course, if you lazy, sometimes it's hard to get people out of their jobs if they're not doing their part, if they just slacking. But I want to know if you actually getting something for doing good work. It's so many people that's out here that's so slick. What I can say in healthcare, because I've been in healthcare for quite a while, is so many slick people. You have to watch your back on certain things. You have to make sure that you're doing your part. You don't want to say the wrong things. And if the wrong thing is said to you, make sure that it's in writing. Like if something was emailed to you, make sure that you keep your emails, because you don't want that to bite you in the butt. You have something that is going to help cover your behind because it was documented. And the smart people, what they do is when they say that trash to you, it's a verbal. So it's nothing documented. It's just what they verbally said. Anybody else want to talk about anything? I think my little one is up. I hear something in beads, but I told her not to interrupt. Go watch TV. Okay. Anybody else want to talk about anything before I end this live? Because I do tend to have my lives a bit long. This one is maybe an hour and a half. Usually it go like 2-3 hours depending on the conversations that we have. My little one is 6. She's 6. So I have 2 adult children and we started all over. And I have a 6-year-old. So she's at the age where she still could take a nap. So when I do my live, she take her nap. But she understands, look, don't interrupt. So if she gets up from her nap, I told her to go watch TV and don't have the TV blasting. So I'm in a whole nother room. Since my adult children are out, I took over one of their rooms and made it a content room. Because why not? It's my house. I'm paying for it anyway. Okay. Anybody else want to talk about, okay, 74 votes. Let's see, 76 people said no. I guess, okay, let's put it like this. Let's have a discussion. Do you think, that being at a job, there should be, let me see, how can I word this? I got fake company banded earpods for 1 year. Okay. Do you think that recognition, this needs to be, or maybe I should make this another poll. Y'all want me to make another poll? Let me know in the comments. Should I make another poll? Yes, no. Because if I do, I'm gonna have to take this one down and do another. I think I have to take it down and do another one. Yes, do another poll. Okay. Let me end this. Yes, okay. I'm ending that one. I think it was like, oh, okay. 75% said no. Okay. So let me do another poll. Yeah, little one is up. I hear the TV downstairs. And it's not extra loud, so she follows direction. Okay. Let's see. What should I do? I was saying, oh, okay. Does recognition or rewards make you want to stay at your current job? Uh-oh. Hold on. What's going on with the live? Hold on. Hold on, because I don't want it to be weird. Hold on, because I don't want it. Okay. It was looking a little weird for a second. Okay, so I'm gonna put this poll in here. Y'all let me know. So All right, I'm about to submit it. Does recognition or rewards help? I'm sorry. Does recognition or rewards make you want to stay at your current job? I just started the poll. Let me know. All right. Okay. Simply Mo. I'm a certified sterile processing tech. How do I get my job to pay for my education while I work? I want to become a nurse. Okay. Um Simply Mo, what I will say is there is hold on. Let me open this up so I can see that as we're talking. Okay. What I will say, Simply Mo, is depending on where you are, um, I'm not sure if you've done a little research, but like the hospital that I'm at, once you're there for a year, they will pay for your schooling if it's nursing. I don't think that they pay for anything else outside of nursing unless it's nutrition or something like that, maybe social work. Um, but no, I don't think they pay for social work. It's only nursing that they pay for. So if you want to get an MBA, they're like, nope, pay for that yourself. What I will say is there are some jobs when you've been there for 1 year. I'm not sure how long you've been at your job, Simply Mo, but when you've been there for 1 year, they will do tuition reimbursement. So when you get into school for nursing, they will you sign up for it. You have your boss to sign up. To sign off for it, and then when you complete, because I've done this a while back. When you've completed your class, you have to submit your grades, and then they will pay back what you've already paid. So if you have a grant, um, student loans, all of that stuff. I don't know if it's any different because that was a while back when I was, you know, when I was in the process of doing. Oh, it's 2 years. So you've been there 2 years. So Simply Bo, this is homework for you. Reach out to human resources and ask them, do you guys pay for nursing school for your employees? If they say no, ask them, do they do tuition reimbursement? So what I recommend, if you want to go the cheapest route to become a nurse, you go get your associates. If you want to get your LPN, you can. That's only a year. But if you want to get your associate's degree as an RN, do that. Then you can go back, depending on what school you go to. Your license is your credits. You go back, you can go to an online school, get your bachelor's because you've already worked and did your foundation. Yes, so RN, yes. So Simply Mo, if you want to get something quicker, get your associate's degree at a community college. And I'm not sure if you have a lot of if you've already did some undergrad classes, but a lot of the time when you haven't had any type of undergrad classes, not a lot, you can get grants if you have children, if your income is a certain amount. Nursing, you can get scholarships, and that can pay for your school. You may not even need your employer, but you have to do your research 100%. It's so much stuff out here on Google. You can do your research and you can find grants for nursing students. You just got to figure out what school you want to go to. You need to make sure, okay, so you have 30 credits to transfer. So if you have 30 credits, that may help for prerequisites. But if you haven't, you just need a grant. But if you haven't taken any nursing classes, that won't go towards nursing because nursing classes are going to be different from just your regular general study classes, if that makes any sense. So you definitely have credits to move forward, but in order to get your nursing degree, you're going to have to take some nursing courses. So that may help you a bit. And then reach out to some schools, see what their curriculum is, get a printout of the classes that you will have to take as a nurse, and go from there. I'm currently doing it myself for my master's. I'm trying to debate on which school should I go to. Should I go to, a regular university, brick and mortar, or should I go to an online university? And I'm trying to do a cost analysis of if my job will pay for it, because I know if they'll pay for it, then that means I have to be with them for X amount of years, or they're gonna want their money back. So times two or three. It's red tape when hospitals pay for it. If they do, make sure that you want to stay with them. If you want to get that degree and you don't want that facility or the hospital, go get your associates, find some grants, scholarships, and go from there. Hopefully that was helpful, Simply Mo. Let me see, out of the votes, 60% says it helps, 40% says it don't matter. So recognition or rewards out of 10 people makes you want to stay at your current job. Yes, 60%. So 6 people say yes, 4 people say no. So, let me see. You're welcome. I'll do online for the classes and go to the school for hands-on. Okay. What I will say is I know the recognition helps a lot for me, but it doesn't mean you got to stay in that department. If you're in a hospital and you don't really want to work with the coworkers that you have, but you want to stay with the hospital, you can always transfer. I don't care what nobody say. You can always transfer. So when you're getting recognized by your department and you transfer to another department, your recognition don't go to waste. You still have it. Oh, I was recognized in this department doing this. Now, when you transfer, or if you interviewing a transfer, you can say, oh, I was recognized for this, but it's the way that you say it, because some people don't know how to talk to the employer when they're trying to transfer over to a different department. You have to say the right things. You can't just be like, oh, I can't deal with it. It was so stressful over there, because that means that you're going to run to another role if you're stressed over something. You don't want to say it like that. What you want to say, oh, you know what? If you want me to tell you the right thing to say, if you're trying to transfer out, or if you're trying to, let me get comfortable again. If you're trying to transfer out, or if you're trying to get into a different role, let me know. Let me know in the comments, because I don't want to say it if you already know what to say. And shout out to my husband for this lighting that he has for me. I'm not gonna move my phone, but he has a big light right here that's bouncing off of over this area, which is a mirror. I have a light back here, and then my actual light for the room is off, so it sets a mood. And I've always wanted to have, like, just something that had lighting, because my other videos that I do, I mean, they're okay. I'm using natural light because I don't have him to set up my stuff. But my husband, this is his stuff that he knows how to do. Center photography. He knows about lighting. He knows about stuff. And I do all of my videos on my phone. He doesn't record any of them, but because he's busy doing his own thing. But one of these days, I'm going to have him set me up so that I can have one of those moody looking videos outside of this. But this is something new, and I like it. Okay. Jamie, hello. All right, let me see. Any more votes? 15 votes. All right, so does recognition or rewards make you want to stay at your current job? So, Ooh, more people have said it don't matter. Them recognitions don't mean nothing. So this whole live of me saying, should you be rewarded for doing a good job? It don't even matter to y'all. You don't even care. I guess the job that you're currently doing, you know, it don't matter. You like what you do. You don't need to be recognized, or you over it. Up, it just changed. So it's 50% now. So half and half. Yes, it helps for you to stay. No, it don't matter. Y'all are neck and neck. So I can't really say anything now because y'all are neck and neck. Let me see if I missed any comments in the chat. Okay. Um was signing up for school, was told I have to retake all my prereqs science classes with labs since I took during the pandemic. I'm so frustrated. Dibs and dabbles. Are you kidding me? Why? Why do you have to take it all over? Did they give you a reason why? I mean, taking it during the pandemic, what there it's nurses that came out during the pandemic. Do they have to start all over? No, they out here working. So, did they give you a true reason why? And what in most places they'll take your classes when you've worked. I mean, not work. They'll take your classes, but they have to be within a certain time span. So if you took them in, let's say 2020, oh, it wasn't a physical lab. Okay, I understand. So, but you said all of your prereqs. Oh, your science classes. So how many science classes is it? Because I guess you can't take your science class lab only. You got to take both. But it's not your fault that, is this the same school you took your science classes with that's saying that you have to redo them, or is this a different school? 6 classes, that's a lot. So, I mean, and the way it is now, um dibs and dabbles. What are you going to school for before I go any further? Okay. I think you just want to be put on timeout because you just keep saying it. So it's nothing wrong with being who you are, but you just keep putting it in there. And okay, do you want a reaction? Like, okay, it's okay to be that way. It's okay. I work with people that way. I grew up with people that way. Some people put things in the comments to get a reaction, and okay, that's all you gonna get from me. Different school for nursing. Okay, so dibs and dabbles. The school that you did your RN. Okay, so the school that you did your prereqs in, do they not have a RN program? Because if one school is not allowing you to go to them and you got to take 6 more classes, research another school. They do. Okay. So what's holding you back from going into that RN program of the school you already took the sciences? Nurses are very important. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. So much. Okay, dibs and dabbles. I'm trying to figure out what we can do so you can get in this program without you taking these waitlisted. Oh, understand. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you a quick story about me, if you don't mind, dibs and dabbles. When I was in, ooh, my water running low. I'm running my mouth too much, and I'm parched. Uh, when I went to a community college, and I did my prereqs. And once I got to the point where I was applying for nursing school, they had a 3-year waiting list. 3 years. And they wanted you to remain active. So, being that you have a 3-year waiting list, they wanted me to keep taking classes. Now, I was already at the point where I just needed nursing classes. I could not take any more classes. Then I would have a degree in something else and all that money wasted. So, dibs and dabbles, what I did exactly what you did. I went to another community college. They said they wouldn't take my class credit hours until I became, no, until I took, I had to take, was it 12 credit hours? I think I had to take 12 credit hours for them to even look at my transcripts so that I could get into their program. So it was a little bit of a step back. It wasn't like science classes that I had to retake. I just had to take more classes for them. So what I did was I looked at the nursing curriculum and I took some prerequisites for nursing with that school, and then it was maybe a humanities or something, a medical math. I did some stuff like that. And when I did that, I had my 12 credit hours. They transferred my credits over to them. And then I applied for the nursing program that did not have a waiting list. So I was able to get in easier with them. And it didn't take 3 years like the other school. It didn't even take a year. It took about 6 months because I had to take extra classes, and then I had to wait for the opening for nurses. Had to do the I had to do, the stuff that you have to do to get into nursing, write about why you want to be a nurse, go to the what do they call it, the informational meeting, which though informational meeting was in person, now the informational meetings are via Zoom. So you don't have to actually go there. You can actually, you know, um, chime in at home or put an earbud in if you at work and listen to see. And if you want to put in any comments, you can do that. Um, but yeah, I would just kind of do that, dibs and dabbles. Your name looks familiar. Have you wrote on my live before? Or in my comments, let me know, because that I like that name. That's cute. Um, but it looks familiar. Okay. Jesus loves you, child of God. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let me see. The school wanted me to take the classes with them. That would be more money. To do the same classes. Yeah. Okay. Dibs and dabbles. Okay, perfect. I knew that was y'all. Your names are so unique. Some of the names stand out, and I'm like, okay, I remember that. And my dog is barking, so forgive him because somebody probably just rode past, and he gonna have to wait to go outside. Okay. Um. So hopefully, what I gave you, dibs and dabbles, is helpful. Um. But for them to have you take all of the same classes over is like, and I'm sure you can't take them all in one semester. Did they give you that option? You're in Illinois. Did they give you that option to take all of those classes in one semester, or you have to take them like as this prerequisite, that one first, and then you got to take that one in order to take this one, and then it's like spread out? I'm sure they did it like that. Let me know. What I will say is reach out to another school to see. I mean, there's more than one school in Illinois that is doing nursing, I'm sure. No, when class comes available. Okay, so when the class becomes available, you can take it. That's a lot of science in one, huh? But some schools want what they want. When I first heard that I needed to take 12 credit hours for them to even transfer my stuff over, I'm like, why do I have to do this? I was already in school. I'm just trying to transfer my stuff over and get into your program. But that's what they wanted. So I had to do it. I sucked it up and I did it. Now, if that's a requirement for every school, then you pick and choose which school you want to do so that you can get that RN, because of course it's more money. Yes. See if there's any type of scholarships or grants that can, I mean, not grants, but scholarships. Grants are always there, but with FAFSA. But see if there's some type of scholarships for nursing. See if there's a minority scholarship. Sometimes it's stuff like that. They even have scholarships for Native Americans. So they have scholarships out here. You just have to do your research to get it. And some schools just want you to get a little bit of money in their pockets first before they even take what you have. And the good thing is they can take your class. Well, no, they can't. So the whole point of you transferring, maybe they take everything else, but taking the science, they want you to overdo because you didn't have a true lab, which that wasn't your fault. The pandemic wasn't your fault. Like, I literally went to NP school during the pandemic and I dropped out because of reasons of me thinking that it was oversaturated. I wouldn't get a job. NPs were getting laid off. And I work at a place now where there's several openings for multiple things for a master's degree. So I'm like, I need to level up and I need to go back to school. And if my job is going to pay for it, even better. I have to think if I truly want to stay there, I need to figure out how long they want me to be with them if they're going to pay. And if I truly want to be there that long, or if I just suck it up and I just pay for it myself and then I can just go wherever I want. Because the job is not perfect. The hospital is not perfect. But of course, no place is. So you got to pick and choose what you want to do. All right, out of 70 people, only 31 voted. Let's see. Does recognition or rewards make you, and I keep repeating this question because there's new people that come on, and I'm not sure if these polls are going to be during my child. Hold on. Puddin', are you downstairs? Not yet. You got to wait. Okay. I keep repeating these questions because I'm not sure if the polls were going to show up after the live is done. I will keep the live up, but I'm not 100% sure how these polls go because this is my first time doing it. So I keep repeating the questions so that you can hear. But yes, so the rewards and recognitions, will it help you stay at your current job? 53% says yes, it helps. 47% says no, that don't matter. Okay. It was neck and neck at one point where it was 50% saying yeah, it helps, and the other was like, nah, I'm good. So if you're on here watching, it's about 70 people right now that's looking. Make sure that you cast your vote to let me know if that recognition or reward helps you to stay in your current role. Some people, they're over their current role, they're currently looking at somewhere else to go, but they're still going to stay in that facility, like meaning me. I'll still stay in a hospital, but my current role, since I was thrown in there and it wasn't what I applied for, of course, I'm looking for somewhere else to go. Whether I got kudos, recognitions, nominations, all of that, that stays with me when I go to another role. Okay. Joanne, I'm 58 and always wanted to be a nurse. But the thought of chemistry and math now at this age, and how long will I be able to work before retiring? I would love to. So, Joanne, or Joan, I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. It's probably Joan. At 58, we're going to factor in a couple things. Because I tell people to go to school. It don't matter. Some people, they will work as a nurse, maybe do bedside for a year, get out of bedside and do something else. I've seen young nurses do it. I've seen older nurses do it that want to retire as a nurse, where nursing is their second career. Let's factor in what is needed for you, Joan, in order for you to get through nursing school. Now, I'm not sure if this is a second degree, Joan, so let me know in the comments if it is. But what you need to do is you need to factor in how long of the program it is for you to complete it. So if it's a associate's degree in nursing, if it's a bachelor's, if you already have a bachelor's and you're getting a second bachelor's, maybe that's the case. You need to factor in how long will it take you to complete school. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. I'm not sure. It depends on where you pick and what degree you already have. So that's one thing. So if you was to start, say, in the fall, which I believe, wait, the fall is over. You would have to start in the winter. So I'm saying the fall because it's almost fall. Um, and you have to think about the time frame. So if some places allow nurses to start in the winter, then you could start in the beginning of the year. But you have to factor in what the program entails before starting, what prerequisites you need to accomplish before getting into the program. So that may push you back an additional 6 months to a year, depending on what you need to take, Joan. But still, let me know in the comments if this will be a second degree for you. Let me know if you already have a degree in something else, because that'll kind of help me to maneuver where you need to go at this sweet age of 58 if it comes to nursing. Of course, young people get into nursing and they don't have the heart for it. Nursing is not for the weak. So I keep looking at this one twist that keeps turning up. It's getting on my nerves, y'all. I'm sorry. Um, so nursing is not for the weak. And what I will say is, it's not for the faint at heart either. So you definitely need to get into nursing for the compassion of taking care of individuals, whether they're sweet, whether they are butt munches, whether they are arrogant, whether they are modest, whether they are the best person ever, whether they're the worst. It's going to be all type of patients like that, regardless of how sweet you are as a nurse coming in, or if you nurse ratchet. It don't matter. So, Joan, being that you haven't told me if you had a degree or not, I'm just going to assume that you don't, okay? If you have one, perfect, then I'll alter the dates, the time frame. So you're 58, you have to take some prerequisites before getting into the nursing program. So let's say you have to take, I don't know, 20 credit hours of prereqs. So let's say, I don't know, 6 months, a year. I don't know the time frame of how you would do that, if you're doing it during your work and you're doing some classes at night, or if you got some online classes. So let's say a year didn't pass. Now you're 59. Let's say you're eligible to get into nursing school, right? You do nursing school. If you're getting an associate's, that's 2 years. So that's 61. If you're getting your bachelor's, if this is not your second bachelor's, then I'm assuming that it's not. I'm assuming that you're just no school at all, because I haven't got a reply from you. 61 is when you're starting nursing. I'm sorry, not 61. Associates. You 58. I don't know if you just turned 58 or if you'll be 59 this year. So that's another factor. But you get your prerequisites done. Let's say that's 6 months to a year. Let's just round it up to 59. Then you start nursing school, as well as you are getting your associates. Let's just say you're going to go the shorter route and you can work on getting your bachelor's and your master's if you desire it. Then that means 61 is when you will be close to getting out of school, or 62 depending on when your birthday hits and when you are done with school. So 62 as a nurse, you have to factor in where you want to work, if you want to do home care, if you want to do bedside, if you're mobile to do the pushing, twisting, pulling, because bedside is hard on your body at any age, whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, or you're retiring at like 70 or 80. It is hard on your body without the proper body mechanics. So let's say 61, 62, you'll be done with your associates. If you're getting your bachelor's and this is your first bachelor's, then add 2 more years to that. Okay, so that'll give you a time frame. Around that time frame, you got to factor in where you want to go, and the rest is up to you, Joan. So hopefully that was helpful. If you want to do that, I'm knocking stuff behind me back. If you want to do that, go ahead and do it. But if it's not for you, it is okay. But it's going to take time for you to become a nurse, because you got to take your classes and you have to do your prerequisites if you don't already have them done. And it's possible. I mean, I've graduated with a couple of young ladies that were in their 50s, and they're thriving as a nurse. One wanted to work as a nurse for a second career and retire as a nurse, and it's okay. It is a-okay, because I've seen people in their 50s and 60s that look like they're 30 because they keep up with themselves. So just because you're age 58 doesn't mean that, you know, you can't do something. It's some people that think, oh, well, I want to get into nursing and I'm 40. Do it. It's some people, when I was in nursing school and I graduated as a new nurse, there was a lot of people that looked at me and was like, you a baby. How are you taking care of me? That's because I looked younger than what I was, right? So, I mean, now I don't hear it. Of course, I've gotten older. I've been in nursing for about 9 years, but you know, my attitude, I'm vibrant, I'm joking around, you know, they don't call me a baby anymore because, the conversations that I have, they know I'm a little seasoned to what I'm doing. But yeah, when people are discouraged over their age, just factor in how long will it take for you to finish nursing? Are you physically capable of working bedside if you want to do nursing? Because the majority, when you go into the nursing, you got to do clinicals. That's bedside. When you're working and graduating and you're working as a nurse, you're going to do bedside at least for a year. So that's going to do a toll on your body as well. The older you get, the more, not everybody, but the more your body may be like, look, you can't do that no more. But if you're really, taking care of yourself and you're, you know, not saying that you got to be in shape, because nobody's in shape. I'm not. I try, but I'm not in the best shape that I would want. Um, but yeah, you can do it. But factor in the time frame and see if it's going to be worth your time working, because people will look at your age when you are applying for jobs. And if you're a new nurse, they will also look at that as well. Not saying that they're going to discriminate against you, because they shouldn't. But people will look at that. And when they notice, you're a new nurse in your 60s, don't tell people that, like your patients, because they'll see that you're older and they're like, ooh, this is a seasoned nurse. I'm good. I'm good. And, when you're not 100% sure about something, it's okay to go to a coworker or management and say, well, I'm not sure about this. Can you help me? Never tell that to the patient, because the patient is going to be like, oh, I don't need you working with me. But nurses are learning every day. It don't matter if you've been a nurse for 20 years. It's going to be always something new that comes out that you don't know. So hopefully that was helpful, Joan. All right. Is nursing homes considered bedside? Dibs and dabbles. I will say, when I say bedside, I'm talking about ER, ICU, telemetry, labor and delivery. But nursing homes, that's bedside, absolutely. But when I reference bedside, I do say those departments in the hospital, because I never worked in long-term care. But yes, it's beds there. When I don't mean bedside, I mean clinics, case management, coordinator roles, management, supervisor roles, where you're not doing any bedside care, but maybe you're managing staff that is doing bedside care. So that's what I mean by that. But yeah, nursing homes, to me, yes, it's considered bedside, because everything that you do in there, the patients are in the bed, you're getting them up, they're living there with you. So it's 100% bedside. Yes. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Let me go back to the poll. So 43 people has commented in the last 34 minutes that yes, it helps to get recognition or rewards to make you stay at your current job. 49% say that don't matter. It don't matter. I don't care. Okay? Y'all doing good on voting on these polls. I'm not sure if you can see the old one, but I don't know if it'll be in the replay. But it is what it is. Maybe not. But you'll always hear me say it. Anybody else want to talk about anything? Comments, questions, concerns? And before I get to it, if you are watching me, if you seen my face, if you seen me do a shorts, a reaction video, a live, my long form, subscribe to the channel. It's over, I believe when I looked, it's 5.4 million people that view my channel, and I have 200,000 subscribers. So everybody's not going to subscribe, but if I've given you value, if you can relate, um what do you call it? Oh, thank you. I can see the 100s. If you can relate, or if I've given you any value or a chuckle, or anything that has given you something for you to return, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It doesn't hurt at all. It helps me, of course, as well as, it shows to YouTube that I'm doing a pretty decent job at engaging with you guys. And in the analytics, I see a lot of people have watched. I have return viewers, that I mean millions of return viewers, so I appreciate those. And you may not see it directly on this live, but you're probably going to see it in the replay. So I appreciate you, and hopefully if you're not subscribed, do it now. It is very helpful to me. I appreciate every last one of you guys that have subscribed. And actually, I am one that encourages others to start their channel. And I tell them, you're not going to be perfect. Even with this amount of videos that I've posted, none of them are perfect. I make mistakes. Everybody is human. Yes, you can have a pudding. See, interruption, but at least she asked instead of busting here. Everybody makes mistakes. Just start and keep going. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Let me look at these comments. Trying to work it out. I love your channel. Thank you. And I love that name. I love that name. I love when y'all have unique names. I really do. Because that means you took a little bit more effort to do that name. She Nurse Savvy was something that I came up with that helped me. And it was like, I'm a nurse. And I think I'm a little savvy around nursing. So why not? All right. Let me see. Nursing home is tough. A lot of drama, high school behavior. I'm sure it is. I mean, I've showcased a lot of nursing home videos. I've reacted to a lot of nursing home videos. And, sometimes I'll mute what they're saying and I'll do a commentary of what's going on. But I know it's drama there. I know it is. And I mean, for me, when I got done with nursing school, a friend of mine was an LPN at a nursing home. I used to draw blood in. When I was a senior lab assistant, I used to draw blood in nursing homes on midnights. And she was trying to get me to work at this particular nursing home. She's like, I'm on a hiring committee. I can get you in here. I can make you, you can be getting $45 an hour. And back then, as a new nurse making $45 an hour, I was like, whoa, you didn't get that in the hospital setting. I think I got like maybe $32, but it's way more you got to deal with in a nursing home than a hospital. So I'm glad that I went on the hospital area, that route, Nothing against nursing homes, but it wasn't for me. The smell of when you go in there was enough for me not to want to work at some of these nursing homes. Not all of them are bad. Some of them are very clean, but just going into multiple different nursing homes, when I did draw blood as a phlebotomist, I was like, oh my God. And then just hearing the stuff that was going on, just as a visiting phlebotomist, I was like, this is not for me. And I always remembered that. Always. Okay. Let me see. Valued and honest information. Thank you so much trying to work it out. She Nurse Savvy is dope. I appreciate that. Anybody else want to say any comments, questions, concerns? Maybe in nursing you need help with getting something going, how to get started before I end this, because I know I'll end the live, but then, maybe it'll be a couple extra comments that I've missed on a live stream. So I want to give people that. Also, if you want to talk about something else on the next live in about a couple of weeks, because I do my lives every other week, let me know in the comments. Like if you want to talk about something in general when it comes to nursing, let me know. I know my last one, we talked about nurse bullying. And the bullying is something that does not go away. You can change how you react to it. You can change how you interact with a bully. You can distance yourself from the bully. But bullying is not going away. I mean, it's so many people that do it, and they do it in a way where the manager won't see it. So it's your word versus their word. But you got to get somebody caught up into something so where other people are seeing it, so it proves your point. So yep. So anybody else want to talk to? Oh, and it looks like out of these 55 votes, yes, it helps to get recognized or rewards to stay at your current job. And 44% say it don't matter. So it looks like yes, it's starting to pick up. It's helpful. So that's good to hear. I mean, a little bit of recognition goes a long way. And this poll is just showing it with simply 55 people. Of course, I know more people have watched this video, but what I'm telling you is people like to be recognized. And this is what I was getting to with this video, a reward for doing your job. Of course, we want it to be a good job done, but a reward is helpful. That keeps people around. When I gave recognition awards to my staff, that made them smile. It made them happy. It gave them something sweet to eat. Of course, I told them don't eat it, you know, out here on the floor with the patients. Make sure you eat it on your break or whatever, or stuff like that. But don't just be eating it out here, because I don't want to be blamed for candy wrappers on the floor, because, adults can be messy and may not clean up after themselves. But it just shows that little bit of recognition from higher up helps. It helps a lot. It helps to keep people staying there, because look, everybody is going to have a bad day at work. It's not going to be perfect every day. But when you get those days where it's awesome, be like, yes, it was a good day. We had a good time. We ate good up in here. We had snacks up in here. Patients brought whatever, because sometimes patients will bring things for the staff. It's helpful. It's helpful. It makes you want to keep going. You're not going to always like everything at your job. Nobody does, because nothing is perfect. Even when you work for yourself. I'm a scrub business owner. So when you see like my store and on the live, not the live, when you see like my store, maybe, I don't know if it's at the bottom of my live stream where you're shopping or whatever, shameless plug, but I'm trying to get rid of a lot of my old inventory. So the majority of my scrub sets and my accessories are 50% off. So what I will say, I believe I have wine color, I have teal, I have a couple different navies, I have black, I have green. I have badge reels, I have badge cards, I have highlighters. That's in the shape of a syringe. I also have compression socks. That's something that anybody could wear. That all of that is 50% off at checkout. So if you're in the US, I know other people have tried to purchase and they're out of the US. Fortunately, there are different little fees for international, which I don't recommend you go through that because it's very expensive. But for like a regular scrub set, that's $50 for me, is right now $25. I'm literally trying to get rid of some inventory. So it's some things on there that may be your size. They may already be sold out, but take a look at my shop. I believe it's maybe at the bottom or it's linked in my description, but it's pettyscrubs.com. Those right there, those some cute scrubs. I mean, they're comfortable. You can wash them 1,000 times. And one of the doctors last month, he looked at my pants and he was like, "Are those new?" I'm like, "No, I had these scrubs for over a year." But you know, the quality scrubs that I have is good. Not to toot my own horn, and they're on sale. So definitely, definitely, definitely go to pettyscrubs.com, usually linked in every video, and go and look. I am going to get more colors. I'm working on getting, because the market, I can wear any color. So a lot of my coworkers saw the pink scrubs that I'm wearing that I only ordered for me. I just did like a sample. They're waiting on pink because it's some AKAs that I work with, and you know, pink and green is their color. So they want the pink. So I'm trying to get rid of some of my older stuff, bring in my newer stuff. Of course, all of my stuff is affordable. The only thing that's not on sale is my newer scrub set, where it's a jacket that comes with it. So it's $80, but that's the scrub jacket, the scrub top, the scrub pants, and they're jogger pants. Okay. All three of those 3 items for $8. You can't get that in the store. You cannot get it in the store. I had it for $100. I dropped it down a little bit to $80 because, I mean, it's a deal anyway, whether it was $100 or $80. But everything else is 50% off. So make sure you look at that. And I'm pretty good with shipping fast. If you get it at night or on the weekend, I'm pretty much shipping it the first thing Monday morning, or I may put it in like the little drop box and scan it and ship it out during the weekend, but they may start it on Monday. So I did do a shameless plug for my scrubs. I wear them all the time in my videos, so you will see them. 98% of the time, the scrubs I'm wearing is my scrubs from my store. I also have gray. So yes, I did a shameless plug, but it is what it is. All right, let's see. You're right. Even acknowledging someone hard work helps. Yes, it does. It does. Nurses sabotaging new nurses, as far as hiding, specimen collection, etc. Is that considered nurse bullying? Yes, that is. Hiding something that you're okay. So dibs and dabbles. You have a nurse sabotaging a new nurse because they're hiding specimens that they already collected for a patient. Is that what you're saying? That's terrible. So that's not even going to help the patient now. I believe that is a term that is, yeah, it's bullying. You're picking with somebody because they're trying to get something for a patient and they're hiding a collected specimen, why is that not at the lab? Why are you picking with this new nurse? Why are you even messing with them like that? You should be encouraging them and being someone there to help assist them to go smoothly on how to work with patients because you already know what to do. That's terrible. But it's people out here that's that petty to do that. And why? Why? You never know when you need that nurse. And that nurse is going to remember, oh, when you hid something from me and I'm going crazy and you picking with me about this and that. For what though? Nurses are there for the patients. It should not be anything else but effective patient care to make the patient better or to get the results for the doctor to help them become better. What is this? Is this, I don't know if this is not, I don't want to pronounce this name wrong. Exaden? Maybe? Hello? Okay. Okay, whatever this is. All right, I deal with this as a medical assistant now on a temp assignment. Today was my last day. You know what? Sometimes people mess with temporary healthcare workers because they're temporary, and it's sad. You shouldn't have to deal with that because you're there to help them. So if you're there to help them, why are they even messing with you? Like, you could have extended your contract, or you could have, extended what you're doing to be helpful, but they want to mess around and mess with you. And actually, like I mentioned before, when I was at an assignment, there was somebody that was in my charts trying to change my charting. Of course, when she signed it, it was her name, but you didn't even assess this patient. So why are you in my chart? And what happened was I said something to management about it, and she didn't mess with me no more. She didn't even call me because I put her in her place and I told management about it. What you're not going to do is be up in my charts with my patients that you have nothing to do with. So by me nipping it, whether I was a traveler or not, I like that place. But she needed to be taught a lesson because you don't do that. Nowhere. You don't do that because if you was to go to court and they pulled a chart, your name is in a document that you didn't access a patient. So if something happened and somebody was being sued, oh, now, I'm sorry, I'm getting oily. Now you are a part of the accessory because, oh, they pulled the chart and they saw your name. So you messed up now. But yes, what I will say is when I went back to that assignment, but I've already hashed it out where this lady ain't even talked to me. And when I came back to the assignment, she still ain't talked to me. I said hello to her and everything. She was like, oh, hello, like all nervous, but don't be nervous. You was the one trying to do all of the stuff. So when I checked you about it, why you all want to be nervous and jittery? Don't do that. Just do your job. You got to correct it when you see it, if possible. Okay, y'all, it's 5 o'clock on my end. I got to take my dog out. If y'all do want to talk about something on the next live, put it in the comments. I'm going to leave this up. And y'all have a blessed day. Have a good weekend. Hopefully the weather is nice where you are. And I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.